Okay then. So I got a little feedback during the break that what you guys are really after is the later stuff, where characters and locations start to become a little more familiar. It seems some of you even know a little bit about the more esoteric aspects of the story, such as the debate over the phrase ultimate hope or final hope, depending on the translation. So, as I say, I am from the Udean school, and we translate the phrase as final hope. And due to the syntax, we have determined that final hope relates to a location and not, as is commonly believed, an era or a theme. So, if you want me to focus on the segments related to final hope, I will jump ahead. You aren't really missing too much in the grand scheme of the saga. More battles with darkness. Thadene interacts positively and negatively with other deities within the varying pantheons, but the parts of the story which relate to final hope bring us right back to the blessed, notably the character Anrefn the Capricious, who taunts Thadene after she battles with the Marid and the Ifrit in her northern expedition, not, as the play or the novella suggests, necromancers. It's also worth noting that the Ifrit and the Marid are referred to as monsters in this segment, which is very unusual given that these Netherin are not typically associated with the darkness, nor are they even consistently evil in our other fables. So it is difficult to discern if Thadene is acting on the orders of the gods or independently in this battle. Nevertheless, it is accepted in the Udean school that this is the first installment situated in Final Hope, due to the consistent translation across the works of the North. It's pretty infrequent that we're given such relative navigational aids. So, I'll just get into it, huh? Thadene Orillian, now a hero of renown, fights the army of monsters, Ifrit and Marid, to bring them down. Her heart ablaze with a righteous fire, burning bright. Her spirit strong, her soul alight. With sword in hand she charges forth against the monsters from the north. Her voice raised in battle cry, her heart ablaze with a fiery light. The Ifrit and Marid, whilst fierce and bold, their power great, their wrath untold. But Thadene Orillian, undaunted by their might, fights with all her soul and her own might. The battle rages on and on, the swords clash with a deafening tone. Their voices raised in a battle cry, their souls ablaze with a fiery light. As the battle wears on, Thadene Orillian fights with a will so strong. Her heart ablaze with a righteous fire, her spirit strong, her soul alight. And in the end the monsters fell, their power broken, their fate a hell. For Thadene Orillian, now a hero of renown, had saved the world from their infernal crown. Thadene Orillian, now a hero of might, visited by Anrefn with violet eyes so bright. A creature capricious who teases and taunts, her words a weapon that jabs and jaunts. Ah, Thadene, a hero true, who fought the monsters and slew. But tell me, why do you care for the creature with eyes of violet so rare? Anrefn, a mischief with words so sly, prodding and poking Thadene's heart to try, to see if the hero with sword in hand would lash out with a righteous brand. But Thadene, wise and strong of heart, did not succumb to Anrefn's art. For in her heart a love so true for the creature with eyes of violet hue. And so she smiled at Anrefn's jest, her heart now light, her spirit at rest. For she knew in her heart of hearts that love will conquer all the arts. Anrefn the Capricious, with eyes of violet hue, warns Thadene Orillian of a truth that will come to view. Ah, Thadene, hero true, one day you'll see your fate that's due. And Thadene, with a heart so brave, asked Anrefn of the fate that she craved. Tell me true, O creature sly, what fate awaits me before I die. and Anrefin, with a laugh, whispered words that made Thadene sigh. "Oh, hero, your fate will come, and that moment you'll know what's won." And Thadene, again heart strong, fought the darkness that lay beyond. For she knew in heart of hearts that love and light conquers all arts. And so she smiled at Anrefin's jest, her heart ablaze with fire. For she knew in her heart of hearts that fate will not break her hero's part. Thadene Orillian, hero, true and strong, speaks to eye, but feels a distance long. For Anrefin's words they echo in her mind, and the memory of her kiss she cannot bind. Dear eye, goddess eternal, hear my plea, for in my heart a darkness I cannot see. Anrefin's words they taunt and tease, and my heart now lost I cannot ease. And I, with a voice so calm and clear, whispered words that banished the fear. Dear Thadene, hero true, your heart and soul you must save. But Thadene, with a heart so torn, felt a distance from the goddess born, for in her heart a love so true, for the creature with eyes of violet hue. And so she wandered, lost and alone, her heart now heavy like a stone, for the memory of the kiss so pure left her heart aching and unsure. And as she walked in the darkness deep, Thadene Orillian now could not sleep, for the memory of the kiss so pure left her heart aching and unsure. And so she cried to eye above for the truth that lay in love, and in her heart a distance grew, as the memory of the kiss still flew. So after a very long absence, we see references back to her kiss with Nometh, first of the Blessed, which are dredged up by the words of Anrefin the Capricious. Anrefin is widely acknowledged to be Nometh's older sister, which is a little odd considering that Nometh is referred to as first of the Blessed. It is speculated that this relates to his relative power amongst his siblings, or perhaps simply because we encounter him first in the saga. Either way, Anrefin was taunting Thadene and trying to provoke a fight. She fails at drawing her wrath, but succeeds in reawakening Thadene's doubts and rekindling her longing for Nometh. Now, the next section is unusual and contentious. I made reference to it in my introduction, where Thadene is referred to as the Autumn Dawn. This is where scholars most strongly disagree about its place in the canon, but it directly relates to the final hope segments of the story, and so I will include it for completeness. The reason it's so contentious is because it sort of suggests a bit of a heel turn for Thadene, where she seems to act entirely independently and, well, very, very violently, without, or at least it appears, a clear cause. But I will let you make your own judgments about all that. So, here's the section. The autumn dawn, with sword in hand, stood upon a world of shifting sand. The sky a blaze of orange and red, as a world awaited its fate with dread. And with a mighty swing Theorin did strike, the world now shattered in a blaze of light. The earth it shook and heaven did cry, as the autumn dawn let out a mighty sigh. But was the destruction intentional or not? A mystery that lay deep in her heart's knot. For in the darkness that lay beyond, the autumn dawn had played her part. She was fond. And so she stood amidst the ruins, her heart now heavy with a burden so daunting. For in the destruction that lay beyond, the autumn dawn had set a new dawn. And as she walked amidst the rubble, the autumn dawn felt a sense of pain. For in her heart the darkness grew, and the memory of the destruction did flow And in the darkness it lingers, like a deepening lure, haunting her thoughts as she looked towards the future, wondering if love and light will always endure, or if the darkness will prevail in the end. And so she travels to a distant land, where the spirits are strong and the mountains grand, seeking answers to her heart's heavy burden, wondering if her actions were a mistake or her purpose certain. But the answers, they elude her like a fleeting dream, as she wanders through the forests and by the stream, and the darkness it follows like a shadow unseen, as she wonders if love and light truly reign supreme. And so she stops on a mountain top high, looking out at the vast and endless sky, wondering if she'll ever find the reason. Love and light sometimes must die. And as she stands amidst the windswept plains, the autumn dawn feels loss and pains, for in her heart a truth so pure, but the darkness, it lingers, its deepening lure. And so she left the world of men, a hero true. But will love and light always win? For in her heart a truth so pure, but the darkness it lingers, its deepening lure. So yeah, a bit of a weird one. Thadene kind of destroys the world or something, but then the world is still there. She is still at or on Final Hope. She supposedly travels to a distant land, but this translation is ambiguous. It's more literally translated as the distance of what remains. But we don't have a direct translation from the original Renoir, and the distance of what remains doesn't fit within the overall structure. It's a confusing section for both Thadene and for the reader, and we are missing most of the context for it. It is likely we will never fully understand it. The fall? I don't know. It could be related to the fall, though the gods are still around in the later sections, and Thadene warns of their impending wrath. There's even a weird reference to something called the Divine Machine, or the Celestial Device, which has plagued scholars for hundreds of years. But we know so little about the fall that it could well relate. Oh, God, so many questions. You guys seem real interested in this part, huh?